So I turned 35 today. 35 years of mistakes, successes, life lessons. You hear all the time how time flies by really quickly, but it's just when I sat and reflected on my life, I was like, wow, like time really did fly, right? Just like 10 years ago, I graduated college and then I moved into my office, started my business and my entrepreneurial journey. And then I got married 7 years ago. Now I have two kids. One's 3.5 years old and the other is a year and a half. And I do look forward to getting older every single year because I learn so much every single year. And as I grow and grow and grow, and I'm on this path of growth, there's no way that I'm going to be the same person that I am today next year, right? So I always look forward to like, oh man, who am I going to become the years to come? And now that I'm 35, I felt like it'd be really good to just share everything that I've learned to anyone that needs to hear this. You might be in your 20s or you might have just graduated high school and college and still trying to figure things out. And I think some of these advices, if you can grab a few things and apply to your life, it could really make a difference. The first thing I want to emphasize is that my life would not be where it is today, and I would not be doing what I am doing today without Christ. I am a Bible believing, born again Christian. Like my parents got divorced at a very young age. So my dad wasn't really there to raise me, and my mom was working all the time. So when I came to the faith in high school, I give all credit to Christ, to God, who was the one that raised me. And I share this because in life, you will meet so many people. They will fail you. They will disappoint you. They will always fall short. And even yourself, you will fall short. You'll never be perfect. You'll never do everything correctly. And because of that, you'll always feel like you're not enough. But because of Christ and what he has done on the cross, you are enough, right? He will guide you and counsel you in all of your ways. And I give all my credit to God, right? My life direction, my life purpose, the way I manage my finances, all of that is in the Bible. It is written in the Word of God. So if any of you out there feel empty, lonely, discouraged, purposeless, I want to let you guys know that there is a God out there that loves you, that designed you, that desires a relationship with you, and that can guide you in all of your ways. Next is to invest into yourself, whether that is by taking courses and classes to improve your current skill sets, or by reading and growing in knowledge. But in the work marketplace, you cannot expect to get paid more or make more money if you're not financially willing to invest into yourself. Because if you are not willing to invest into yourself financially, then why should your employer do so? Or why would anyone else give you more money? So no matter what life stage you're in, make sure you're constantly investing into yourself. But the next thing is to invest early. We're talking specifically into the stock market. I got introduced to the stock market when I was around 20 years old, so like 15 years ago. And I remember thinking at the time, like, you know what? I'm not going to really invest right now because I don't make a lot of money. So when I make more money, I'm going to start investing more. And that sounds reasonable and logical, but it is the biggest, costliest mistake that one can make. Because you might be thinking like, oh, I can miss a year or two or invest a little bit later. But those few years that you miss out on can cost you millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future. So if you are listening to this and you have not began investing, please research, look into it, learn about compound interest and see how everything works. And you should definitely start investing. One of the things you'll also hear from a lot of athletes and entrepreneurs is consistency. How consistency beats talent. Like for me, I'm not talented in anything. As young as I could remember, I've always been envious of people who were naturally talented at music, singing, dancing, studying. Like these are all things I look at and be like, how do these people do it so well? And so for me in my life, I've always known to just have to outwork everybody, to stay up longer, to craft my skills more and more. And eventually when you're consistent enough and you do it every single day, it compounds, and eventually you get to a place where no one can reach you. Better yet, you get so far ahead that you start to form a new circle of friends or people or peers that are in the same life stage or season as you. So always know that consistency beats talent. Make sure you celebrate other people's wins. It's always a lot more fun when you win alongside with other people. If you are winning by yourself, it is very, very lonely. So make sure you have people next to you that you are growing with and winning with together. If you are in your 20s, in my opinion, you should be sacrificing it. Like you should just be trying to figure out what you're good at, fail forward, fail a lot. If you're 18 or 19, enjoy a little bit, but know that you should be giving up your entire 20s for your 30s. When I was younger, I was surrounded by a lot of older people. I don't know exactly what age they were, but one of the things that they would always say around me is like, man, I'm so tired. I'm so old. Man, I don't have energy. So you have to ask yourself, like, am I going to have more energy to work and do all-nighters and figure things out in my 20s? Or am I going to have the same level of energy in my 40s? And though few people will have a lot more energy in their 40s because they might be healthier, the probability of you having more energy is going to be likely in your 20s. But I try to think in decades. Of course, your plan might not fully follow through, but right when I turned 20, I remember thinking for the next 10 years of my life, which I gave myself permission, I'm just going to try everything and anything, and it's okay if I fail. And that allowed me to try so many different things and not feel like a failure because I gave myself a 10-year timeline. Then when I turned 30, we call it earn your 30s. My entire 30s is dedicated to earning, investing, growing. And my 40s, that's going to stay private for now. Also, don't compare your timeline with others. You are created uniquely. You have a completely different purpose. So the last thing you want to be doing is comparing your life to somebody else's. I graduated college 2 years later than all of my friends. They were on their 4-year track, but I took a gap year, and so I was behind on graduating. And I remember watching all my friends graduate and walking, and I remember thinking, man, am I a failure? Am I behind? Am I dumb? Like, why am I not graduating early with everybody else? But I remember at that moment, I had to remind myself, I was like, I know who I am. I understand my identity. I have a different purpose, and I'm just going to stay on track and keep being faithful with everything that God has given me in this moment. And if you really think about it, it kind of ends up being like the same thing, right? I'm sacrificing my 20s and even parts of my 30s so that I can enjoy my 40s and 50s and 60s until I die, right? At the same time, like someone could be enjoying their 20s and their 30s, but then they could also be working and paying the price in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? It's just, we're doing the same things. We're just doing it backwards. Next is choose the one that makes more. Now, this doesn't apply to everybody, but when I was in my early 20s, I think I was like around 22, I was doing a lot of different jobs. And I remember this older man asked me what I did for a living. I named all the things I did. And he asked, out of all things you do, which one do you make the most money on? And I said, I make the most on screen printing because I had a screen printing business at the time. And he said, how much do you make? And I told him this. And he's like, you need to quit everything else and just focus on screen printing. Focus on the one that makes the most money. Now, of course, me being like 22, 23, I was like, this old guy has no clue what he's talking about. Like, he doesn't understand the ministry work that I do and all these other things that I do. I'm going to accomplish all my dreams, all my goals, and life is not just about money. But that advice that he gave lingered on the back of my head all the time. And every time I came to a point of like making some sort of decision of like letting something go, I ended up sticking with and keeping the one that made more. I didn't understand that advice when I was young, but as I get older, I realize that advice has so much wisdom to it, yet don't use it as law. Don't use it as like a metric of like, oh, I'm only going to choose the job that pays me more, because I think it's important to have work that's fulfilling, not necessarily doing work just for the sake of money. And we all know that money can't buy happiness, but man, it can definitely solve a lot of problems and break limitations that you have in your life. Because when you have an abundant amount of financial resources and you have that nest egg, knowing that you're going to be okay, you're able to focus on the things that are important in your life. Like, for example, I'm not thinking about whether I'm going to be eating or not tomorrow. I'm not thinking about, will I have enough gas to get to this destination? I'm not worried about my mortgage payments. And I'm very blessed to be in this situation. But because I'm not thinking about those things, I'm able to continue focusing on dreaming and building and accomplishing these goals that I have and want to achieve. I'm still able to serve in some ministries that I've been a part of for a very, very long time, be involved in projects that most people my age are not able to do. I can probably create a whole video just on this topic, but just to keep it short for now, if money does not make you happy. Well, it's because you haven't given enough away. Because when you are given much by God, you have that responsibility to give to others as well. And man, when you give to others, it's so rewarding and fulfilling. So as you start to make more, learn to give more generously. And when you give, whether that is with your time, your giftings, or financially, you have to make sure you expect nothing back in return, or else you've made that relationship transactional. Everyone tries to seek work-life balance, and for some people, it's very, very challenging. I personally don't really believe in work-life balance. I believe in life priorities. First, I make sure that my faith or my relationship with God is there first. Then I focus on family. Then at the bottom is going to be my work and my finances. If my work and my finances go to zero, I still got my family and I still got God. If God takes away my family, well, I still have God. But if my relationship with Christ, with God, is not there, my faith is not there, then my family and my finances and my work will all just be chaos. So if you're having trouble trying to find work-life balance, I want you to step back and really ask yourself, what are my priorities, and see if you have them correct. If it's part of God's plan, get married and have kids. I think marriage is the best thing ever. Having kids is the best thing ever. It is a commitment, but it's the best thing ever. I know a lot of people don't want to get married today and don't want to have kids today because of financial reasons, but the biggest myth is I got to get my finances in order and clear all my debts and make sure I make a lot of money before I get married and have kids. Don't think that way. I think you have to eliminate that lie. Know that like I was broke. I was dead broke when I got married. Because when I got married, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm no longer just taking care of myself, but I need to take care of my wife. So it really made me think outside of the box of how can I build this business to grow. And then when I had kids, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to have time for my kids. So how can I figure out how to free up more time while still making more money? And so I was able to problem solve and build not only my family, but others as well in the process. If it wasn't for my wife and my kids, I can 100% say that I would not have accomplished any of the things that I have today, nor would I be running the business that I have today as well. Another great advice: fire, aim, ready. It's the term ready, aim, fire, but backwards. Taking action is one of the hardest things for a lot of people. So when I have an idea or when I want to do something, I just say that I'm going to do it without really knowing how to do it. And then I figure it out, and then I'm ready. And we've all been there where we think of an idea, we sit on it too long, and it never comes to fruition. Make it a habit to take action immediately so you can find out, fail quicker so you can move on to the next thing quicker. Back then, it was the biggest fish that wins, but today it is the fastest fish that wins. Also know that time is the only asset you cannot buy back. You only got one life, so make sure you make the most out of it. Famous investor Warren Buffett gave a great analogy or imagery of our life, right? Imagine you get one car, but that is the one car that you get to drive for the rest of your life. How would you take care of that car? You would take care of that car so well. You would clean it and make sure you take care of it till the day that you die, because that is the only car that you're ever going to be able to drive. And that same way, we are only given one life, one body. So how should we be taking care of it? So while you're still breathing, make the most out of the one life that you have. Remember that in life, no matter how successful you are or how much you've accomplished, it means nothing if you become the person you don't respect. Love unconditionally, be humble, serve others, have integrity, be honest. I don't have everything figured out. I'm not perfect either, but I'm trying to grow continuously every single year. And I'm really excited for the next 5 years of my life. I only got 5 years left of my 30s, and then I'm going to be 40, then I'm going to be 50, and it's going to be crazy. Am I still going to be making videos? I don't know. Maybe I might. I really do enjoy making these videos because I know that my son will grow up one day and he'll be able to watch all these things and be like, oh my gosh, this is my dad when he was 35. But yeah, these are the lessons that I've learned at 35, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one over. Good night, good morning, adios.